Welcome to my webinar today. It's titled Black Dress or Tie Ready, depending on your gender. First, I really want to thank you for taking your valuable resource of time and energy and listening to this seminar. I know you have a lot of choices out there in seminar land, and I appreciate that you gravitated to my seminar geared toward your whole health and wellness. When I give these live, I often wonder who's going to show up late and show us their black dress or tie and whether they're ready. My name is Laura Clancy, and I'm the proud owner of Untitled Enterprises. I'm also a best-selling author and a world record-holding powerlifter. And you'll see as we go through this why that's important, because I kind of went from being the last person picked on the kickball team to being a world record-holding powerlifter. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is really and truly something I've created as a journey to sustainable whole health and wellness. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition consultant, and I've been an independent personal trainer since 2009. My mission statement, both professionally and personally, is to educate, inspire, and entertain people to live healthier, more contented, laugh-filled lives. And that seems like a tall order, but it's truly the way I've learned to live my life over the last 5 years. And if I can give that to you, that would be fabulous. That's my intention. Why am I here? Well, in a world filled with fleeting moments and fading memories, I believe you can create and capture a memory that's so magical it lives inside of you forever. I'd love to provide you with that gift, one of your many gifts that you'll get over your lifetime. And I hope that that special memory that I help you create is an educational nugget geared toward your overall wellness. Find more than one nugget, and that's icing on the virtual cake. Please listen for that nugget. Focusing on finding it will help you get back to your A game. Sometimes as we get older, we forget what it was like to be younger and so able to move our body in ways that didn't hurt or that we didn't feel uncomfortable. That nugget will most likely be different things for different people. The people who come to my live seminars often come up afterwards and say, hey, you know that thing that you said about X, Y, and Z? That really helped me. That resonated with me. And someone totally different will come up with a completely different thing that resonated with them. So we're all on this journey of life together, and you know what resonates with you now may not resonate with you a year from now. We're all in different places. So listen for that nugget. And you know, the person next to you may be more well in nutrition, whereas you may be more well in physical activity. I kind of throw that word well around because that's really what people want to do. They want to get better than where they are. Insert any of my philosophies and suggestions into your life, and you will get more well. I promise. If you just concentrate on nutrition, you are going to feel better. If you just move more, you are going to feel better. You will be more well than you are today. Insert them all, and you'll be a lean machine forevermore. And that would be ideal. Most of us want to get there. We just need to get there one step at a time. You will have the whole health and wellness we all aspire to achieve if you do a lot of the things that I recommend. When my information reaches out and touches you, I hope you welcome it and allow it to inspire you enough to use it. Believe it or not, you will then inspire others with your betterment in this whole health and wellness journey. You getting better will inspire others because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be better than they are today, whether it be financially, emotionally, physically. Most people are looking for a better life or enlightenment. You will be the role model for the person looking for their overall better self. Yay, you! The goals of this session is that you are inspired to eat inside the lines 90% of the time. You drive past Dunkin' Donuts with new resolve. You're inspired to hit the gym at least 3 times a week. You look forward to your next encounter at the gym. You actually find the gym. An alluring atmosphere that you simply must explore. Yes, that was a little funny. This is a wit and fit presentation. There's a little bit of wittiness in here to hopefully help you remember a lot of these fitness nuggets that I'm giving. You feel a little more lighthearted about your journey. As I said, my goal is mainly to inspire you through humor and experience, to get fit and win the battle of the bulge once and for all. Each of you may have a specific goal or two of your own. What I'd like you to do now is jot down in the notes section of your workbook or your worksheet that comes with this your personal goals regarding weight loss, getting fit, or just feeling better. The sky's the limit here. If you want to say something like, become an Olympian, feel free. If you want to set, get through the afternoon without slumping or napping, that's fine too. Remember, any goal you set that creates feeling better than where you are today is a step in the right direction on the road to being overall well. You don't have to share this with anyone, but I believe that you will find it helpful to get to your goal down on writing. I'm a big believer in writing your goals and then aiming for those goals, taking action steps every day, every hour to reach that goal. When you put a goal out there and you keep your eye on it, you're going to head toward it always. Sometimes we don't even know what our goals are until we're forced to write them down, and that's why I'm doing this. This is not easy for a lot of people. A lot of us lose focus over our lives, and setting goals or resetting goals is really important. And now this darn teacher is forcing you to write it down. I'm really sorry about that, but I think it produces less anxiety to just jot it down and see it. If you really have a lot of anxiety about this, jot down your grocery list if that's more important to you. And as I tell people in my live seminars, just look busy. Look like you're doing something. If you choose to write down your goals, this will help solidify what your goal was or is. If you lose sight of that goal along your journey, you'll have a written contract reminding you of the goals you set. Writing them down sets you up for success, more than just imagining your goals. Ready to get started? This is my icebreaker. Since this is a class on wellness, in my live seminars, I often ask them to pull out the yo-yos that I give them and do a little bicep exercise. So rather than doing that, just imagine you're doing that. By the show of hands, were there any champion yo-yoers in the room? Well, I wonder if you see where this is going. What's the connection? Some of you have probably figured it out, as in, are there any yo-yo dieters out there? By the show of hands, how many people are yo-yo dieters? I know you can't see me right now, and that's probably a good thing since I'm sitting here makeupless. I am actually raising my hand. I have been a yo-yo dieter. Somehow I'm sensing there may be more of you out there and more of us than we want to admit. And maybe that's why you purchased this webinar. I had a high school teacher who said to any student who complained that she had failed them on a test, "I didn't fail you, you failed yourself." To this day, when my friends from high school and I get together, we use that phrase to make us giggle at the absurdity of who we once were. But now I see the value in those words. For 43 years, I failed myself at getting to be and remaining whole health well. I yo-yo dieted my way from size 6 to 16 and back again. I was a yo-yo champion at losing weight, and then a champion at regaining it. But one day I stopped my yo-yo dieting pattern. On that day, I not only found answers for myself, but I also found answers for my clients and friends like you. I'm going to share with you how I won the long-term game of what I call black dress or black tie ready. It's in my book called Wit and Fit, which is available right now on my website. However, pretty soon it should be available on Amazon. Black dress or black tie ready is really a long-term sustainable fat-free body, a body and mind that work well together. Obviously, what I share today is drawn from my own life's experience. It worked for me for over 5 years. Although I can't promise you that what worked for me will work for you, I've created these seminars, this one, and I have 12 more, so it's a baker's dozen. As I've developed these seminars as a way to help you find your way to whole health and wellness. You see, it's important to know that before I was a world record-holding powerlifter and best-selling author, I was Laura Clancy, a 30 or 40-pound overweight stay-at-home mom. I believed that people didn't seek me out at parties, and my self-worth was pretty low. I was pretty much a wallflower amongst the DC roses. And before that, I was an extremely pregnant stay-at-home mom. And before that, I was a pudgy cheerleader. Let's put it this way, I wasn't actually exactly the most popular one on the squad, at least with the boys. And that was an issue because, well, I had a crush on Ed Tiller, and, well, Ed never really noticed me. Digression. We'll talk about Ed later, but the point is, for many years, I really wanted change, but I never achieved it. And as the teacher suggested, I kept failing myself. I wanted to be thin, but obviously not enough to change my eating habits. You see, I was only living a superficial level of affecting change for myself. I wanted change, but wanting is a pretty useless desire to achieve results. Sometimes I'd even bump up my desire and choose to change my habits to lose weight. Making an active choice to lose weight is much more powerful. With that choice, I'd lose some weight or even get to my goal weight. But the inevitable occurred. The excess weight would reappear and bring more of its fat cell friends along to the party. Since neither wanting nor choosing included long-term weight maintenance, how did I get to my long-term goal? Becoming a healthy weight or being more well is a goal for many. Likely for most or all of you on this webinar. Whether you have a muffin top to topple or not, you are here to win the battle of the bulge or gain your whole health fitness for good. Here's the good news. There are really just two truths about long-term healthy weight maintenance. About having a fat-free and healthy body. First, it's unending, meaning it's a commitment. Successful weight loss to a healthy weight to a healthy weight includes whole health. I'm sorry, I got a little lost here. It includes long-term weight maintenance, which can only happen when you commit to it. Once I committed to permanent weight loss, I began to change and see progress. I devoted myself unreservedly to my goal of achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. I held nothing back and gave 100% of everything that I had to achieve my goal. That was my mindset, commitment, and I was going to get to my goal of not regaining weight no matter what. And although it appears easy because I've achieved long-term weight maintenance, commitment is actually really difficult for me. In addition to mapping out my future eating concerns, commitment meant being honest with myself, honest about everything, and the truth isn't always easy to view. Making that commitment has had a rewarding effect, and I've been rewarded with a lean, ready-to-go machine body. The second truth about sustaining a healthy weight is that it's a choice. It's a choice for life. How cool is that? You get to actively participate in your life and your body's health. You see, it's the war for control of your lifestyle that needs to be won. It's that culmination of days and hours that matter most. If you're overweight or overfat, the commitment to get to prime health must include a forevermore lifestyle change. Most likely, the way you eat, drink, and be merry has caused an imbalance in health. A little on the dark side. To be weight or muscular endurance or strength. Be it weight or muscular endurance or strength. I'm not talking bodybuilder strength or Ironman endurance. I'm talking about getting up the stairs without being out of breath, or getting out of a chair without using your arms to help you. I began teaching this class with overfat people in mind. I mean, honestly, What female do you know who doesn't want to lose 5 or 10 pounds? Most men feel comfortable at their weight, but really they're not always healthy. Some men know that they're doing the wrong thing when they don't exercise and eat well. That's when they usually come to me. This class is intended for her, but the more I researched and the more I talked to people, the more I realized we as a society are unwell and unbalanced health-wise. This is not a judgment. I don't judge anyone. I just don't do it anymore. We are all where we are and who we are. But if you want to be better or less fat, get back to your A game, whatever your fitness goal is, this class is for you. And as it turns out, the very things that make people unfat or lean are the very things that restore better health. I honestly believe almost everybody, with very few exceptions, can get better or more fit every day. A fat-free, healthy body is a journey, not a destination. I know this from my own experience and from watching my clients struggle with their goals every single day. Some days you win at the battle of eating and exercising to become and stay fat-free. Other days you lose that skirmish. Whether you win or lose on any given day, it's not those specific days or hours that matter. As I said on the last slide, it's the culmination of many days that do matter. But I'm here to give you the inspiration and some tools to help you conquer a healthful lifestyle and create your optimal health. Having the fat-free body that you've perhaps not seen in a few years, great health and great looks. Who can ask for more? For me, it's my inner narcissist all-you-can-eat buffet. Let's turn to my first tool. Nabbed from my book, Wit and Fit, this is your first tool too. Well, let me tell you how this model came into being. Basically, I was in California with some my two teenagers, actually at the time they weren't teenagers, and another, our goddaughter, dear friend, goddaughter who is a teenager. And I was trying to figure out these Venn diagrams. I couldn't figure out what they were called. And they gave me the name by way of talking about geeks, nerds, and I don't even remember what else. And that's when I realized everything that I knew about fat loss, everything that I knew about maintaining a lean body was basically in the center of mindset, nutrition, and fitness. I'm going to go into much more detail on each of these components, but here's the CEO's short version. You need to wrap your mindset around the belief that the best way to overall health and to having a fat-free body is seeing it's a journey for the long term. It requires proper nutrition, which is clean eating 90% of the time, which means not eating foods that aren't from nature and not eating processed foods. In other words, eating foods from nature. It also requires moving more and actually scheduling in physical fitness. The fastest and safest way to being fat-free is strength training, then interval cardio, and then long flow distance cardio. And at that point, why bother unless you're just getting healthy for other reasons? That's the most truncated I can get it and still make sense. Mindset, nutrition, and fitness. As a trainer, the results I see with a client's mastery of each of these facets are generally only a subset of the three critical components. Let's take a look at each one. Thin, which is an attitude of intention or purposeful thought. The people who conquer nutrition through mindset do that, and this attitude is a good thing. By all accounts and purposes, AMA guidelines, they are at a healthy weight. These people are committed to eating well and dine and sip with conscious thought. They have the mindset or determination to make really good choices about what to eat and drink. They become thin. In other words, they achieve a smaller version of themselves. And visually, thin is good. Thin people fit into their clothes. This may shock you, but unfortunately, many thin people are simply small and still have a high body fat content. They may not necessarily have great health values. Their muscles could be weak. Have you ever seen really skinny people try to get out of a chair and use their arms? Their glute muscles are very weak. Their LDL, HDL levels could be unhealthy. Their blood sugar could be off. And worse, they could still be fat. What? That's right. Does anybody know what high fat content is? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's generally considered fat greater than 32% for women and 25% for men. And then there's skinny fat. Skinny fat is not necessarily healthy. Skinny fat is the new buzzword in the fitness community. It describes a person who is at a healthy weight but who has high fat content and is weak because of little to no muscle tone. Yuck, that's kind of gross, right? The photo on the left is a photo of skinny fat me just before my 2008 reunion. And on the right is the lean me about a year later and 2 pounds heavier. I had more muscle tone and less fat. My muffin was toppled. You can see it's a huge difference. Now let's look at the dominators of fitness and mindset components. Physically fit people are strong. These strength training fitness conquistadors get a toned version of themselves with the added bonus of carrying a little less fat. Their muscles tone up and they look better, even at a higher weight. Remember the last photo comparison we saw? In addition, these people have a better outlook on life because they have endorphins streaming through their body. They just plain feel better and can get through their day better with newfound energy. These folks have found the miracle drug for many things that ailed them before, increasing their physical fitness. They feel great all day and look great in the gym. Their energy is more stabilized and their health values are generally better than their skinny fat friends. They make sure we see them looking good in the gym too, right? Yeah, I see a lot of people in the gym. Okay, now we come to the combination of nutrition and fitness. Lean is the combination of being fat-free and strong. It means that the body has low fat content and more muscle tone. That's really what we want. These people are toned and you can see it. They wear their lean jeans because they blew their fat to smithereens. They have the benefits of the nutrition and fitness counterparts, but not for long. They have difficulty sustaining their success. Why? Because they didn't commit to the long-term goal of staying lean. They haven't adapted a lifestyle change. They're missing the one important component, and I would say probably the most important component. They go right back. There you go. They go right back to that size they once were. They're missing mindset. Unquestionably, the champions of fat loss and long-term healthy weight sustainability are those who are able to pledge to all three components: mindset, nutrition, and fitness. Again, in my humble opinion, the most important component is mindset. Know this is a journey, not a destination. These champions have total focus. They've made a commitment to lifestyle change. They are willing to embark on the journey, not just the short-term destination of being a certain weight. They are living the lifetime journey being fat-free, which also importantly gets them to whole health well. And even though I'm not a big proponent of multitasking, this is the one multitasking result I approve of completely: mindset, nutrition, and fitness. With all these three components, they become black dress or tie ready. They are proud of who they are. They have found their inner and outer strength, and they eat well, exercise well, and think well. They have better focus, clarity, health values, and even look better. They are overall whole health and well. Black dress and black tie ready people like themselves in their little black dresses and ties. They receive compliments from others. But more importantly, they are happy on the inside and they are self-aware. They are the total package. They've set goals and achieved their dreams. When they've had bad days, they pick themselves up and get right back on the fat loss horse. As Thoreau once said, they go confidently in the direction of their dreams. Are you ready to be black dress, black tie ready? Are you ready to be more well? When you are black dress or tie ready, you will believe anything is possible. you will go in the direction of your dreams. This course is a gift to you from me, the gift of learning that it's possible to overcome weight issues through commitment, education, and hard work. You'll be rewarded by your enlightened determination with results. We've already discussed commitment, but bear in mind, commitment to nutrition and fitness isn't easy, and anyone who tells you it is lying. It takes a conscious decision every day to make the choices that will get you the results you want to achieve and maintain. Do I always want to eat the way I need to maintain my weight? Do I love weight training? Well, yes and no. Sometimes. But I do it because my commitment to achieving the results I want outweighs the pull of the donut or the gravity of the couch. And it's hard work. No matter how hard it is to eat well or work out, I push myself anyway, and so do my clients, because I'm committed to a goal, and so are they. I also committed to learning the proper way to eat so that food is fuel. I educate myself about what form of exercise is appropriate for clients and my own different goals. For example, through education, I know that pizza isn't good for weight loss, and now I know why. It's not just the fat. It's the processed carbs and proteins. It doesn't make food bad. It's just not optimal for achieving or maintaining a fat-free lean body. Through education, I've learned that the best form of exercise for fat loss is, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Through education, you can see nutrition and fitness more objectively rather than taking sound bites from untrustworthy sources on the internet, in media, etc. You've taken these very important first steps by committing to be in this session today and to educate yourself and prepare yourself mentally for the hard work. Congratulations. When we are black dress ready, we stand tall as champions in all we've accomplished. So let's start putting these tools to work. We'll look at each of the three components to inspire and prepare each of you to get black dress and black tie ready. Let's begin with mindset, since I consider this the most important component. I have other sessions that will dig deeper into this important topic, but today we'll jump into the idea. Remember, long-term weight loss is a journey, not an event, or merely prepping for an event. Let me share a little bit about my journey. It began with a goal, which is always the first step. As a yo-yo dieter, I had been a heavy teen in high school. Then I was trimmed from the age of 20 to 31. Once I had my first child in 1997, over-fat weight was my enemy. Every 5 years, my goal was to not be fat for any of my high school reunions. The weight loss plan I chose was called the Ed Tiller Weight Loss Plan, and it expanded from there. Never heard of it? Haven't seen that one on the shelves or at Amazon? Well, it's not there because Ed was an old high school crush. That's right. I made not being fat for Ed Tiller my goal. It was the idea of attending my 20th and then my 25th high school reunion that shaped me up twice. I could not let Ed Tiller or any other classmate see me fat. So in 2002, I got in shape for my 20th reunion using Bill Phillips' Body for Life. Wow, I never looked better. But with the reunion over, I couldn't hold on to that goal, and for goodness sake, it would be another 5 years until I had to see Ed or my dancing pig friends. Get it? Walsingham was the name of my high school. I wouldn't see them for 5 years, and I didn't make the goal of being healthy and lean one of the most important facets in my life. I stopped eating well and weight training, and guess what happened? Yo, y'all, I know you see it coming. I gained the weight I had lost and then some. Remember that yo-yo? I've included this photo of me because it's so funny. I'm probably about 30 or 40 pounds overweight here, and I'm performing a song called When the Fat Lady Sings. Wow, can you believe it? But in 2008, for my 25th reunion, I lost weight again. Recognize that picture? That's my skinny fat picture. This time I went on the South Beach diet, and I loved it. It detoxified me of the everyday refined carbs. I never felt better. On October 5th, 2008, I arrived at my 25th high school reunion wearing a size 6, weighing 134 pounds. I had lost just over 30 pounds through strict adherence to the South Beach diet. So for the 20th, I looked my best, and for the 25th, I felt my best. But how could I do both and keep it that way? After many years of yo-yoing, I realized that until then, I hadn't been fully committed nor fully educated for long-term healthy weight, specifically fat loss and maintenance. So this time, following the reunion, I changed my mindset. I added Forever Fit to my goal. I committed to staying black dress ready and investing in myself to do whatever it took to stay fat-free. I didn't like the way I felt or looked 40 pounds heavier than my ideal weight and realized that being optimally healthy and lean is a journey, not a destination. In order to really change, I needed to apply all 3 black dress ready, black tie ready ingredients to my life and my lifestyle and make a lifestyle change. Mindset, nutrition, and fitness. At that point, I hadn't realized that it was just the beginning of the journey for me and the beginning of the trifecta philosophy of mindset, nutrition, and fitness. The Monday following the reunion weekend, I began classes at National Personal Training Institute in Tysons Corner, Virginia, also known as NPTI. It was a huge turning point for me. I realize now at that moment I invested in myself by making 2 major changes in my life. I took a leap of faith into a journey of self-awareness, and I faked it until I maked it. Yeah, that doesn't rhyme, but it's too accurate a phrase not to use. Those 2 changes are why I'm standing here today, and I'm able to tell my story. Those 2 changes took me from being a corpulent female crooner to holding 6 world records in the 100% Raw Powerlifting Federation. By joining NPTI, I sat in class 4 hours a day for 6 months. This certification was certainly different from my sedentary lifestyle. I was forced to go into the gym 2 hours a day. That doesn't mean that I worked out for 2 hours, and please don't panic and think you'll need to do this. I trained other people for an hour and worked out an hour myself. I started with a beginner's total body strength training program. I worked hard. Remember, that's a key step in achieving your dream. In other words, with determination and dedication. And I began to see the fat melt away and watched my muscles as they began their carve toward tone. It took time, but I had 6 months to rebuild myself. By the end of class, I had found a new Laura. What a huge discovery. You can do this too. I promise. When I graduated at 43 years old, my name was on the class wall as the school's second strongest female. My bench press was 120 pounds, my deadlift was 200, and my squat was an astounding 205 pounds. I was now strong enough to consider powerlifting as my sport of choice. That's saying a lot about someone so athletically inclined. I was the last one picked on the kickball team. Who knew? Now, many years later, I can lift even more. I steadily worked at getting stronger and can now bench 147 pounds, squat 250 pounds, and deadlift 286 pounds. From the day I started at NPTI until I won my first world record at 46, my weight had increased about 10 pounds, but my size hadn't. In addition, a year after winning my first record, I shrunk down 19 pounds in 10 weeks to compete in a new weight class, and now weigh what I weighed at my 25th reunion. So take that, Ed. My new goal is to not date Ed Tiller. After all, I am happily married to Jim, but to beat the current elite 100% Raw Federation's world record holder, me. And it all started with a renewed mindset. Well, and with Ed Tiller. By the way, I've since had the pleasure of notifying Mr. Tiller that he inspired me from afar. For a long time, I didn't hear back from him. Imagine that. I was okay with this, but I did keep trying. After a last-ditch effort from me, he granted me his official permission to use his name. He supports my mission. I know one day I'm going to run into someone who knows him. I'm bearing all my secrets to give you hope. You can do this. I'm still on my journey. I'm 5 years into my journey, and I encourage you to embrace yours, even if it starts today. One of my guiding philosophies is that it is never too late for anyone. Let me remind you that I am an ordinary woman. I push myself to do extraordinary things by applying commitment, hard work, determination, and I constantly and consistently educate myself. Every time I set a goal, I know with absolute certainty that I will achieve it. I don't know how I'm going to do that, and sometimes I drive myself crazy. But no matter what it takes, I'm going to achieve it. How? I adapted a believe in myself mindset. That's the first step in the journey. If you adopt that belief, you can do anything too. What I stumbled upon accidentally was basically what Napoleon Hill wrote about in his Think and Grow Rich. Believe and take action steps. Just keep believing and doing, and you will eventually get to your goal. As I suggest in one of my clients' Think and Grow Lean, you can do this too. So how do you do that? To stay black dress ready, I needed to be honest with myself. I needed to do this to achieve self-awareness. I knew that in order to change on the outside, I first had to change on the inside. You see, the first step to believing in yourself is knowing yourself. Through my journey of self-awareness, I discovered the theory of manifestation, and it resonated with me. Well, you know, I will say, in this society, it is easier to cover up our problems than fix it. Look, you've got some back fat contraption that gets rid of that and smooths that out. Then you have shoulder pads to build up your shoulders, a stomach flattener, then you've got a butt pad. I mean, please. But with the theory of manifestation, basically, thoughts become feelings, become actions, become results. And guess what? That means that weight isn't a problem, it's a result. Duh, right? I mean, that's just so obvious. All right, so taking a step further, programming becomes thoughts, becomes actions, become results. So what's programming? Programming is how your mind perceives reality. Like a computer, your brain's taken everything it's heard, seen, and experienced since you were a baby and processed it. When you process that information, it produced thoughts and feelings that have become how you think and feel about everything. Your life's living became your conditioning or programming and influences every aspect of your life. How we think and feel about weight, food, exercise, money, politics, religion, and many, many things. Boiled down, your programming is your subconscious mind. Why is that important? When the subconscious mind must choose between deeply rooted emotions and logic, emotions almost always win. Logically, you want to lose weight, but emotionally, you may not be ready for it. It's worth a pause here to think about how you feel about thin, lean, strong, black dress ready, or black tie ready. If you go to your handout, I provide some instructions there. This won't be created, and it's private information. It's just to help you become self-aware, which is an important step of this journey. Maybe you realize, or maybe you've known all along that you've had some type of negative feeling toward the whole health, wellness, or being lean. You're not alone. So go ahead and complete that and pause it. Pause this webinar. Welcome back. You may be surprised, but I realized when I did this for myself that I had a negative reaction to Black Dress Ready. It surprised me. One of my biggest obstacles in the Black Dress Ready equation was that I was afraid to commit to long-term eating and doing what it took to remain well. I mean, really, how long can you give up a fun meal at a Carboholics buffet? That was really scary to me. I was terrified of having to do what it took every day to maintain my weight. I looked at it as a current and future sacrifice of eating boring food, and I also viewed the drudgery of daily exercise as yuck phooey. Is that even a word? Further, My inner world was afraid of being thin, fat-free, black dress ready, because I sometimes felt that thin, pretty girls were often snobs or shallow. Have you ever felt that way? In addition, in the past, it was moderately easy to look at the relative short term and say, yes, I can dig in for 10 to 12 weeks to get results. But I can't look at that process forever. This was because eating healthfully seemed like a sacrifice to me. I see this in my clients a lot of times. They'll go on that diet. Well, I'll go on that diet on Monday, on the first of the month, on the first of the year. And that is the first key to me that they see it as a sacrifice. This is not going to be an easy journey for those people. And most of us are those people. I have to work on this every day. It's gotten easier. It's become a habit. In addition, we often think that things will be easier in the future. I am a big paper person. I have papers all over my house because I know one day, tomorrow, I'll read it. I will have no more time tomorrow than I do today. If I'm not going to read it today, I'm probably not going to read it tomorrow. And if I'm not willing to eat properly today, I may not be willing to do it tomorrow. So look at the present. All right, so going back to the programming that I personally had, I couldn't look at the process forever. Well, the logic of losing weight and staying in the moment, making good food choices, was circumvented by my negative emotions of what long-term weight maintenance would feel like. My negative feelings kicked in when a perceived threat, which is eating is a basic instinct of survival, and that feels threatening. When eating well, or what I considered comfortably, would be removed from me. In general, if people feel threatened about food being taken away from them, even if they're doing it to themselves through dieting, and I put quotations with my fingers up, it makes them feel anxious and emotional. Eating is a basic instinct. We've had it since we were a baby. It's something which we need to be aware. Who knew? You see, I'll get back to it. In an epic battle between logic and emotion, emotion will almost always win. Digging further, I realized that my past programming stemmed from being a pudgy child whose mom well-intentionally tried to keep me from eating bad or fattening foods. This isn't blame or bitterness. It just is. For years, I interpreted not eating something I wanted, like cake, pizza, cookies, chips, ice cream, as threatening my long-term survival or as something fun taken away from me. This was just one of my issues, but it was a crucial one. Realizing that change had to come from within, I figured out that unless I interceded and revised my way of thinking or being, I would not achieve long-term whole health wellness. Sorry, I clicked this a little bit too soon. I believe that most people who are struggling with weight issues need to change their programming in order to create the mindset that's needed for whole health and wellness. I call it mind shift, seeing the same thing from a different angle. Here's an example. Are these rose-colored glasses, or are these rose-colored glasses? Shifting your mindset entails focusing on the positive aspects about yourself. Sometimes we human beings, especially women, have a knack for dismissing the multitude of positive things about ourselves. Instead, we focus on one or two negative attributes that we have that make us human. Just ask my client, Harry Mann. Yes, the name has been changed to protect her innocence. It's in Chapter 5 of my book, Wit and Fit, but I'm digressing. Many of our insecurities stem from when we were teenagers. I know I dragged some of mine around like an insecurity blanket, still wanting to impress Ed Tiller, I guess. How about you? Are you harboring a long ago manifested insecurity? You're not alone. Once you realize that you're not the only person who feels like someone who can't get anything right or feels like the big elephant in the room, it helps to know you're not alone, right? Remember that no matter how confident people appear on the outside, they probably have a few insecurities on the inside. And we judge how others feel by comparing their outside with our inside. Their facade versus our inner reality. That's about as fair as comparing an airbrushed photo to your AM blanket face, bedhead, complete with morning breath. As a human being, you have the right to have a few bad attributes. Take me and many of my clients and associates. We all have difficulty with the following: controlling the amount or type of food we eat, understanding nutrition, understanding weight training, understanding fat loss versus weight loss, overcoming teenage insecurities. We all know that American pop culture tells us, let's not attack the fat from the inside, let's attack it from the outside, or it pokes fun at where we are in America. These photos tell the story well. We all know it's happening in our processed food-oriented society, and we can laugh. But many don't make the change necessary to get healthier or lean. Many people that I train see eating well, eating clean, non-processed food, as a sacrifice. Think about that for you. If I were to ask you, can you eat clean? Would you think, well, I can, but starting on Monday and on the first of the month? That's telling. You want to eat fun until then. It's human nature to think that we can do better in the future than we can today. And that shows that both attitudes are present. That choosing to eat well is a sacrifice mentally for you, and that you are waiting to begin also shows making this choice may be more difficult. Never fear. If you really want to get over this way of looking at eating well, there are 3 steps to overcoming these attitudes. Don't believe me? Think about all of the contraptions that are sold to squish in fat. The good news is that you already have the formula, I apologize, for overcoming these. We've already covered them. You need to commit, educate, to include self-awareness, and to work hard, because it's going to feel like hard work. For some people, it's not hard work. But for you, it probably will be. It was for me, and it still is for me. There are days when it's harder than others. Recent research has shown that the key to transformation boils down to a commitment to control mindset, nutrition, and fitness. One small change triggers a cascade of other healthy behaviors. These new habits are powerful because they influence our opinion of ourselves. Commit to controlling your mindset, and once you feel better about yourself, it will become easier to control your nutrition and fitness activities. And then when you begin controlling your nutrition and fitness training, you will feel better about yourself. It's a virtuous cycle. In week 4, we'll discuss more about how to accentuate the positive. There are 5 steps to shifting the mindset. To summarize how I've shifted my mindset and my client's mindset as the first important step of getting whole health well, we took a journey of self-awareness that taught us that we needed to change our programming about weight, food, and perceptions of what it would be like to be thin from our inner selves. We each had to reprogram our thoughts to change our actions and results. You will most likely have to do the same. So don't forget to pull out your belief audit to see what negative perceptions you have when you're in doubt. We'll talk more about mindset and mind shifts in different sessions if you've decided to purchase the whole kit and caboodle, all 13 webinars. But hopefully this has laid a solid, valuable foundation for you at the start of your journey. My haphazard discovery of success can now be backed up by research, and I now understand why it worked, which is why I can confidently tell you that this stuff works. Let's move on to fitness now. Remember, long-term wellness and maintaining leanness is a journey, and sometimes some of the steps you take along the way may feel out of your comfort zone. Earlier, I used some terms that might be unfamiliar to you: squats, deadlifts, bench pressing. Deadlifts is not removing grandma from the front porch when she keels over. What I'm talking about is weight training. Ready for this? The best exercise for fat loss is weight training. This is true, pure and simple, researched and proven. Why? Because when you are lifting weights properly, you are actually breaking down the muscle by making it work. Muscle is made of protein or amino acids. Then the muscle builds back up and becomes stronger. As muscles grow stronger, they take less space as the fat melts away. Added bonus in muscle building is that muscles take more food energy to maintain, which means you'll have a higher metabolism. See how it all works together? One frequently asked question that I get is, what's the difference between weight training and resistance training and weightlifting? I have an easy answer for that one. There's no difference at all. They are all different terms for the same thing. As an aside, many of the same exercises have different names. The inconsistency is the consistent in physical fitness. Really, it's not what you think or fear. You aren't going to morph into a bodybuilder unless, of course, that's your goal. Trust me, bodybuilders must work really hard to create that physique, especially natural bodybuilders. It doesn't just happen solely from lifting weights. I know many of you have probably never lifted a weight. In fact, you've probably steered clear of the weight section of any gym you've gone to. I know firsthand how intimidating it can be. And this is not going to happen to you. You have to take steroids to become an extremely large woman with weight training. Let's face it, we are a sedentary culture. Many people sit down all day at work, driving and watching TV. It looks like to me there are two different types of people in this country, those who are active or very active and those who aren't. There aren't many in-between people anymore. People used to mow their own lawns. That would be the in-between person. Walk their own dogs. Now we hire people to do that. And I'm not judging or saying that's wrong. You need to figure out how to move more. Be one of the ones who's active. Make that choice. The first step is very easy. Get off the couch and move more. The more you move, the easier it gets. You have to just get started. Once you've taken the first step, gotten up to get started, then you take it a step at a time, just like I did. Pudgy cheerleader to black dress ready. How many years did that take? 30? You'll want to establish a routine that's right for your goals and physical condition. I'll give you some starter exercises in just a bit. Let me explain how weight training works, because people seem to be very confused with this. It's a great question that I get, and I'd like to explain it so that we can dispel any flawed notions. As I mentioned earlier, when you resistance train, you break down the muscle. As the muscle repairs overnight or over 2 nights, it becomes stronger. And like tanning, you can't go out in one day and expect miracle. One full day in the sun will create a sunburn, not a tan. The same principle applies to weight training. You can't just hit the gym all day and expect your body to tone up for the rest of your life. You must weight train over time to create stronger muscles that give you that toned look and burn more calories. Just like tanning. It's unfortunate that you can't carve out some time and just get her done, but that's just the way it is. People ask me often how many hours I work out a week. Well, I'll tell you it's either 3 or 4. I generally don't hop on the treadmill, which is my bad, but it's the hardest thing for me to do. But I probably work out 3 or 4 hours a week. And out of 168 hours, that ain't all bad. In addition, and I can't stress this enough, you can't work the same muscles 2 days in a row. For example, for beginners on a total body routine, you must have at least 1 day rest in between weight training workouts. Some interval cardio or other endurance is okay between those weight training days, and cardio can be done in back-to-back days, but not weight training. Once you get started on your weight training routine, commit to creating new demands every workout. You should never lift the same load twice in a row. You can increase sets or load for at least one specific exercise, but no more than 3 exercises for every single workout. The next time you do that program, keep up the increase and the last set and load, and pick a different 1 to 3 exercise to ratchet up. Push your body and challenge yourself to get better every single workout. To get change, you must push your body beyond what it's already used to doing. Even though you want to place new demands on your body every single workout, you should stick to the same general program for 4 to 6 weeks. That would be considered a training cycle. If you begin a new program too often, you won't see yourself progress because the same muscles won't be pushed in the same way. New demands should come from increased volume, then load. This will allow you to achieve the benefits of the program using the same exercises and number of repetitions for 4 to 6 weeks before changing the program. Here's another important principle. When you're not working out, you need to recover. This is called rest time, and it's not to be confused with the time between sets, also called rest time. Instead, I'm talking about the time between strength training workouts and when your muscles begin to repair. And when the muscle repairs itself again through rest and proper nutrition that feeds the muscle, which we'll go into next, the muscle then increases in strength and gets larger in a toned way. Recovery is as important as exercise and nutrition. You must have enough rest and recovery in order for your body to respond to the stimulus of training. Rest is something your body needs for whole health wellness. We as Americans undervalue this component of wellness. Suffice it to say, for many reasons, sleep is very important and increases metabolism, promotes fat loss, and decreases general inflammation, all important in the journey to whole health wellness. This concept is so important, I'm going to say it again. Allow at least 24 hours between workouts and give yourself at least 1 day off completely every week to allow your body a full day of rest. Usually 3 to 4 days a week of weight training is the most your body can handle and still recover, and many clients achieve amazing results with just 2 days a week of strength training. I personally recommend 3 days a week. You're going to take it off faster and feel better, but 2 will do, and will do well. Just remember, more is not always better. And what I mean by that is, do not do this 7 days a week. Remember the laws of tanning. You have to take into account your lifestyle and how much weight training you can do while taking into account recovery time. Let's stand up and do something. I recognize that this may feel really uncomfortable for you, so let's do something really silly here, just to help desensitize you to the silly so you're not embarrassed to go into the weight training section of the gym. Basically, I learned recently that if you make yourself big and put your arms way up and all around and make yourself look bigger, your brain thinks you are bigger. So I'm going to have you do that. How did that feel? Kind of weird, right? But do you feel bigger? I don't know if you feel bigger, but I know that there was a YouTube video that I saw. It was a TED Talk about this. And again, I'm a big believer in faking it till you make it. Get in the gym. Start working on the equipment. You will become desensitized. 5 steps to getting fitter. Get up and get started. Take it 1 day at a time. Establish a weight training routine, but change it up to add more demand. And stick to the plan. Rest and recover. It's that simple. Again, I can't stress this enough. I do it all the time. Fake it till you make it. As much as I was afraid of it, just like you might be, weight training has helped me take control of both my inner and outer life. Weight training not only got me black dress ready, it helps me emotionally stay there. Holy cow, who knew? Remember, I mentioned 2 major changes I had to make in order to stand up here and tell my story? The first was to take that leap of faith. The other was what I referred to as faking it until I made it, meaning that I first started weight training. I was so uncomfortable and felt fake, like it wasn't me. But then I faked it until I became it, and I did it without feeling fake. Now when I say I'm a trainer or I'm a competitive power lifter or I'm a writer, I feel authentic. I did it enough until I became it. I made commitment, I educated myself, and I worked hard. And over time, I was able to say those words without hesitation because they are now part of my reality. You can do all three of those things. You can fake it till you make it. You can make the commitment, learn about the benefits of weight training and what regimen works best for you, and then take it one step at a time with hard work. I say hard work because it's going to feel like hard work. If it weren't, you would probably already be doing this. When you do, you'll be amazed at how you look. And it's okay to like the results you see. It's okay to be impatient with how slow it takes. It takes hard work, but it particularly takes time. In session 3, we'll explore in detail how to overcome your fears of walking into that free weight section of the gym, which I often refer to as the man section because it's very rare for me to see a female over there. And we'll talk about the specifics of interval training, meaning how to appropriately blend cardio and weightlifting to achieve optimal results for fat loss. However, if you want to get started sooner than that, be sure to consult your physician if you have any reason to suspect weightlifting may not be good for you. Secondly, if it's feasible, try and consult a trainer. Weight training is so individualized based on your goals, weight, health, fat content, and other measurements. When I work with my own clients, I run them through a functional movement screen and come up with a plan that involves the best exercise for their individual circumstances. If consulting a trainer isn't an option, I recommend the books The Female Body Breakthrough by Rachel Cosgrove or The New Rules of Lifting by Alan Cosgrove. He has a few new books out there as well. Or even Bill Phillips' Body for Life. I really like that book. The nutrition is not, it's 10 years old and it's not considered the best nutrition anymore, but it is a bodybuilder's nutrition plan. My favorite topic. It is now time to talk about nutrition. I can't help myself. It's time for a punny. Aren't you glad you're still here? It's time to move on to nutrition. Good nutrition represents about 80% of the fat loss equation. Well said by many fat loss experts, including yours truly. Six-pack abs are created in the kitchen first. That means in order to see your abdominal muscles shaped like a six-pack, you must first lose all the fat around your abdominal area, and proper eating is the answer. Yeah, nutrition is that important. After all, eating well is the cornerstone of health. What we'll be touching on here are three things: what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat. Let's start with what to eat. What we are essentially talking about here is clean eating. Clean eating, as foreign as it might sound, is really all about a healthy lifestyle. It's a strategy that ensures that a majority of the food you ingest is as close to its natural state as it can be. Things like fresh fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and healthy fats. In other words, no processed foods. Let's see if I can make it simple. If the Mayan calendar ran out and the food is still edible, it's most likely processed and doesn't really fit ideally into the definition of clean eating. Ideal weight is a journey, not an outcome. Remember, fat loss and sustaining ideal weight, whole health wellness, is a journey, not an outcome. It's a commitment to eat the right foods as part of a lifestyle change. And the key to this lifestyle change is learning to resist temptation. Contrary to the board, resistance is not futile. If you can resist eating processed foods and see eating clean as something good for your body, the rewards you will reap will be phenomenal. It goes back to resetting your mindset so that you aren't constantly exerting willpower that is in finite supply, especially during the afternoon lull or in the evening when you are at your most tired state and don't have as much energy to exert over that donut or potato chip, or in my case, the ice cream that's calling my name from the freezer. It's mindset. Your goal of getting healthy and getting lean outweighs any other processed food distraction, no matter how much that processed food feels like it would make you feel comforted. In the long run, that comfort food is not your friend. It's a betrayer, and it will not lead you to your goals. And if you do fall off the horse and eat junk, just get back up and eat well the very next meal. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, the next meal. Eat clean the next meal or the next day and stay in the present. Speaking for myself, I know that my anxiety is reduced 80% by living in the present. It's not more than 80%. It's called mindful living, and it's the best way to live a contented, fulfilled, and thriving life. Anxiety is about the future, and sadness is often about the past. I often tell myself, I'm okay now. I'm okay now. I'm not going to worry about that in the future. I also believe very firmly in the power of laughter. You can smile and laugh at anything and feel better instantly. If your mind is constantly happy, it has no time to dwell in the victimhood or misery. Yes, I do believe that sometimes difficult and certainly not everything is fun, and certainly eating well is not always fun. There are times to be serious about it, but fill as many of your hours with laughter, and I believe you'll be happier and more content. When your goal is weight loss or fat loss, weight maintenance, or more well living, your nutrition strategy should involve eating every 2 or 3 hours. Let's take a look at my weekly eating schedule and what I believe is the best way to eat for everybody in a nutshell. Basically, every 2 hours eat, every 2 to 3 hours. I eat 5 meals a day, and if I do a strength training program, I actually do a recovery whey protein shake. We can talk about that in a different module. In fact, I do talk about that in the nutrition module that I have. But this is something that's really good to replenish your body with protein. These days can be varied. The reason I have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday different is because I will, let's say, do my strength training on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That seems to be pretty good for most people. That's not always the way it works for me, but that's why I have this separated this way. Sunday, I often take the whole day off, and I have a guilt-free non-exercise day. I try to move, but I eat the same way. I eat the same way every day, unless it's a really bizarre day and I have like 2 meals a day. If it's Christmas Day and I'm gorging myself. As benevolent despot of Clancy Enterprises, stay-at-home mom, business owner, I discovered that a day never unfolds the way it looks the night before. I can put lots of things on my calendar weeks out, and they hardly ever manifest the way they originally look. The crisis I can see coming down the pike hardly ever happens. I plan in advance, but I don't obsess about the obstacles I see. I either change the obstacles or let them go. I can handle them in the present. You can't always control the future, but you can almost always certainly get through any one moment. I know this since I actually gave birth twice, and one labor was actually 15 hours. Again, I tell myself I'm okay. So I plan for the future. Fail to plan, plan to fail. I plan my meals out, but I don't know how it's going to happen, but I always make sure that I even bring a bar if I need to. Skipping meals is not good. How much? Portion size is key. It depends on how much you eat now. If I were to tell someone who's 100 or more pounds overweight, eat 5 small meals, that's probably not going to be good because their portion control may not be, their small meal may not look the same as what I'm recommending. I recommend for fat loss, unless you're really, really overweight, to look at 10 to 12 calories per body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you would probably eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories. It starts to fall apart the heavier you get, but for me, I weigh about 134 pounds, and I probably eat about 2,000 calories a day and maintain my weight. Just to let you know, 3,500 calories is considered a pound. So if you drink that soda every day, and I really don't understand soda. I don't like diet or regular soda drinks. I just don't care for them. I don't understand how that can be a comfort food. So I don't mean to be judgmental, but it's one that I just can't wrap my head around. Just very quickly, just drinking that extra 100 calories a day, if you have one a day, and you drink it for 35 days, that would be a pound gained without any other changes. So that's how powerful calories are. In order to lose weight, your overall calorie intake should equal calories burned if you want to stay the same, or if you want to lose weight, you've got to decrease your calories. Okay, and beware, restaurant food portions are way out of the ballpark for what's really necessary nutritionally. Processed foods create hormonal imbalances, including spikes in insulin, that create inflammation of the body that contributes to the aging process, and many experts believe to many illnesses. Processed carbs are often higher in calories too. Cut back on these and you immediately feel better and begin the journey of whole health wellness. This is so huge, as is the timing of what you eat, that it can somehow overshadow the importance of calories in and calories out. I mean, really, how many apples are you going to be able to eat in a day? Drinking half your weight in ounces has been shown to help clients lose 2 to 8 pounds when nothing else in their lifestyle changed. Most Americans are dehydrated, so please consider drinking more water. Not coffee, not necessarily tea, though if you were to drink tea, I'd recommend green tea because that seems to have fat-losing properties. 5 steps to eating well, just to summarize. Eat clean, resist temptation, eat every 2 hours, control portions, beware of eating out and processed foods. Diet is a 4-letter word. Although dieting is a choice, it could make one feel like their basic survival instinct since birth is being threatened. That's why a lot of people don't use the word diet, because it implies taking food away. It also sets food up as good and bad, emotions which can create guilt. So let's try to recap what we've covered so far. There are 3 essential components to becoming and staying black dress or black tie ready. Whole health wellness happened for me, and it can happen for you too. I did this journey without the knowledge of why, but you can do this journey with mindfulness. I know you will get there if you really commit to it. Blending the theory of manifestation with internal reprogramming, mind shifting via mantras, and some of the tools I've shared with you regarding fitness and nutrition make up the winning combination of actions that you can take to achieve long-term whole health wellness. I have a tool that can help you put programming or mind shifting into action. They're called mantras. Mantras actually have their start in Hindu tradition of prayer and spiritual ritual. It's a group of sounds or words that considered capable of creating transformation. Over time, mantra has become a popular substitution for motto and is used in more secular circles. You're familiar with some of the more famous ones like Nike's Just Do It or Larry the Cable Guy's Just Get Her Done. Here are a few more that I've put up on this slide. I felt that the term mantra was too cliche, so I searched for a better word, and I found a bevy of words synonymous with mantras such as croon, incantation, lilt, melody, trill, and warble. No, that's not quite what I was looking for. But then a word hit me. Bam! Accession, a noun meaning a belief in the goodness of something or agreement. It's pronounced accession, and it reminded me of an accessory that pulls a whole outfit together. Perfect. Mantras are valuable tools because they bring a layer of vigor and passion to your success. Stated emphatically and out loud, mantras create positive energy. I have one for you if you care to use it. I commit to bear witness to my fitness. Now it's time you can create your own mantra. The best approach is to adopt or create one that's meaningful to you. Your accession should be self-motivating and serve as a positive affirmation of your progress. So pause this and take about 5 minutes to figure this out. Welcome back. Once you have your mantra, say it out loud and emphatically 3 times in a row, twice a day. 3 reps, 2 sets. Added bonus, accessioning in front of your mirror. Say it until you believe it. See it until you believe it. experience it in your imagination until you believe it. It takes time for these accessions to become your reality, but it is so worth the effort. Once you master your inner workings, your results will change. Proper nutrition, exercise, and mindset will become easier. I promise. It all begins at the root of the problem, to change those thoughts. Little tweaks can create big changes. Programming leads to thoughts, leads to actions, leads to results. Mantras lead to reprogrammed thoughts, lead to beneficial actions, lead to different long-term results. You will change your results, period. You will feel better. You will have more control. And though that's scary and maybe not something that's familiar, you'll realize over time it's the best way to live. Everyone wants autonomy. Just ask my preteen and teenager. But autonomy comes with responsibility. You will win at the game of life. You will have success in whole health wellness. You will have contentment. I'd like to leave you with this quick and dirty tool, what I like to call the skinny on weight loss achievements. Stop freaking out. Create challenge goals. Tackle health and fitness every day. Do this only if you are serious. That will set you up for success. Find an ally. Create opportunities to be successful. Remember you're not alone. See food as fuel. Remember it gets easier with time. Write down your goals. Ignore failure and move on. Don't focus on perfection. And please, please enjoy the journey. It's time to put your goals into action. Please go to your workbook and put those goals down. Welcome back. Hopefully today was the first step in your journey to becoming self-aware. This can take much deeper digging. Keep going, and I promise you'll be glad you did. My books are called Wit and Fit, and I have a couple co-authored books that I like as well. Results Fitness that I did with Alan and Rachel Cosgrove, international fat loss experts, and their coaching members. I also helped co-author a book called New Rules of Success with John Spencer Ellis, who is very, very respected in the fitness industry. I believe you can do everything I've done. It's why I shared my story with you today. You just need to believe in yourself. And if I can help you in any way, please feel free to email me at laura@muffintoppled.com. Thank you so much for your time.